afternoon. My name is Payton Mills, and I am the undergraduate admissions visit coordinator, and I am joined today by Teresa Cevallos, and I'm going to let her introduce herself now.
Hi everyone, my name's Teresa Cevallos. I'm the Director of Wellness Services at Hood College.
And Teresa, would you be able to tell us a little bit more about your position with the college and how you serve our student population?
Sure, I'll be happy to. I am a nurse, and my position now is working with students, both undergrad and grad, making sure that they get the health services and the counseling services that they need. I am the liaison between Frederick Health, which is the hospital and its affiliates that are actually right next door to our campus, that take care of the community here in Frederick for their health needs, but they also take care of our students.
And could you tell us a little bit more? We're in April, which is kind of one of the busier months for our accepted students to make decisions as far as where they're going to go to college. Could you speak to some of our accepted and deposited students about what the next steps for them health-wise would be?
I'm so glad you asked that, Payton. Yeah, that's a great question, Payton, because one thing that we want to ensure for all incoming students every year is that they get their medical records into us. Medical records are due by the 1st of August. Actually, the date that we would prefer is by July 31st.
Okay.
So the health records include the meningitis vaccine information form. Now, we encourage students to get the meningitis vaccine because, of course, we want to prevent anyone getting meningitis. But if a student doesn't have the meningitis vaccine for whatever reason, the waiver is also included on that form, just to make sure that the form's completed or the waiver is signed. Also, there's a form for the student's medical history. The medical exam form, which is the student's physical exam, the healthcare provider fills that out for the student. It needs to be current within the past year.
Okay.
Because we know that most insurances only allow for one physical exam per year. And then there's the immunization record. And there's also an emergency contact form. All of these forms should come in a packet at the same time and be sent in either by fax, by mail, or they can be handed to us when there's actual people there and we reopen, or taken to Hood College Health Services and handed to the nurse there. And if anybody has any further questions about that, it's all spelled out on Hood's website. If a student goes under Student Life, then Health and Counseling Services. On the left side of the Health and Counseling Services page is a bullet that says required medical forms. If you click on that, it'll give specific information about how to send all of the medical records in.
Okay. And Teresa, if a student is transitioning between primary care doctors and they're wondering about how they can get that physical to complete that part of the form, is Hood able to step in and offer any services in that sense?
Yes. So Hood College Health Services will offer students physical exams, which can be billed either to the student's insurance, and if the student would prefer, they can self-pay, and there's a $50 charge for the physical exam.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit more about the health and counseling services that are available to students once they are on campus?
Yes, so health services are available 7 days a week to our students, which is really great because if they're sick on the weekends or later on in the evenings, that there's health services available to them. So they're open from 8 to 8, Monday through Friday, and then on weekends from 8 to 6. Their health services are located just behind our campus across 7th Street at the Frederick Health Urgent Care Center, right on the corner of Toll House and 7th Street. It's directly across the street from Frederick Health Hospital. And it's staffed, of course, by physicians, other professional healthcare providers, as well as nurses. And we have a dedicated nurse specifically to our Hood students. Her name is Dee Engel, very nice person. And I'm just gonna shout out her telephone number in case anybody has questions specific for Dee. For example, if they have a question about how to go about getting allergy shots, or if you have a chronic disease or need prescription refills of any sort, Dee would be the person to ask. And her number is 301-698-8888. 8374. So what happens is if a student's not feeling well, if they have a health-related question or concern, they can go into our health services and talk to a healthcare provider at no charge. They can go as often as they like. There's no limit as to how often they're seen. There is only a charge involved if the doctor, nurse practitioner, or PA orders lab tests and or diagnostic tests, or if they see a doctor who is a healthcare specialist in their field. For example, if you go in, you think you might have a sprained ankle or it could be broken, you'll be assessed for free, but if you need an x-ray, that would be a separate charge. If you need to see an orthopedic doctor, that would be an additional charge as well. But if it's a simple sprain and it stops right there, there's no charge to be seen. I hope that helps to clarify the difference between when a person's billed and when they're not billed.
Absolutely. And one thing I will add, since our health services have expanded hours and such by being through Frederick Health Hospital, our campus safety can drive students if they ever need the assistance in that way. It is a walkable distance, but campus safety is happy to intervene there as well. Right.
And there are signal lights with crosswalks. We encourage students to definitely use the crosswalks to get across the street.
Absolutely. It will become a question as we come towards the fall. Do we offer any kind of flu shot assistance on campus?
Right. The health care providers offer flu shots during the whole entire flu shot season, and students can go to our health services to get flu shots there. There's usually a day or two that we dedicate the entire day that their staff comes to our campus to offer the shots as well. And usually, unless the prices increase, the prices are around $15 per shot, or insurance is billed.
Okay. And Teresa, I'll just wrap up by asking you, is there any additional information that our prospective students should have as far as health services are concerned?
Not as far as healthcare services, but I'll speak just briefly on counseling services, which are located at the same location as health services that are at the Toll House location. And we do have licensed professional counselors, LCPCs, that see our students at no charge. So if a student would like to talk to a counselor for any reason, they may go in by appointment and talk to them. They also welcome students to walk in. However, it's best to call first, because then they can dedicate an appointment time to the student. Counseling services are open from 10 to 6. Monday through Friday, while classes are in session. They also, their staffing is supplemented by our grad students who are studying to be licensed professional counselors. So we have grad students there as well doing their internship. And they've worked out really well. Our students really relate well to them, and they seem to be doing a great job. So they just enhance the staffing at our counseling services.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you, Teresa, for joining us today. If you have additional questions on health services, you can certainly go on hood.edu and simply just type in health services in the search bar and it'll come up. Thank you.
Thank you.